misunderstanding in spirituality is believing that the ego must be destroyed. But what if the ego disappears the very moment it is completely seen? Imagine someone criticizes you. Instantly, your body tightens. A feeling appears. Thoughts begin to race. Emotions surge. Anger, defense, fear. Most people believe, I am angry. But look more carefully. Is there really an I creating anger? Or is anger simply happening? This is where the Buddha invited us to look. Not at an idea, not at a philosophy, but at direct experience. First, there is contact. Eyes meet form. Ears meet sound. Then, feeling appears. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Next, the mind begins naming, judging, remembering, imagining. Then intention arises. Reaction begins. Only after all of this does the illusion appear. I, my anger, my fear, my suffering. Yet when awareness remains present, the whole process becomes visible. Body, feeling, perception, mental formations, consciousness. Nothing is hidden anymore. And something extraordinary happens. The ego cannot survive being fully seen. It only survives when it remains unconscious. Darkness never leaves because we fight it. Darkness disappears because light arrives. Awareness is that light. The Buddha called it right mindfulness. Jesus called it the light of the world. Both pointed to the same mystery. When awareness shines, ignorance dissolves. When ignorance dissolves, the illusion of separation fades. This is why Nirvana is not somewhere else. The kingdom of God is not somewhere else. They appear the instant. Reality is seen exactly as it is. Not tomorrow. Not after enlightenment. Now, most people believe awakening means becoming endlessly peaceful, loving, or free from negative emotions. But that is not what awakening is. Awakening simply means seeing reality as it is. If anger appears, see anger. If fear appears, see fear. If compassion appears, see compassion. Nothing needs to be rejected. Nothing needs to be held on to. The problem is never the emotion itself. The problem is whether awareness is present. Imagine anger suddenly arises. Immediately the mind says, I shouldn't be angry. I need to get rid of this. I must become peaceful. At that very moment, you are no longer seeing anger. You are chasing an imaginary future. And that chase is the ego. The desire to become someone better is still the ego trying to survive. What if, instead of trying to remove anger, you simply looked at it, not judging, not suppressing, not feeding it, just observing? How does it feel inside the body? Where does it begin? How does it move? What thought gave it life? What happens if it is completely seen? Then anger becomes your teacher, not your enemy. Fear works exactly the same way. Fear is simply another movement appearing inside awareness. When you fight fear, fear grows. When you completely understand fear, it naturally dissolves. Light never fights darkness. When light appears, darkness simply disappears. Awareness works the same way. Every moment of daily life becomes practice. Walking, know that you are walking. Breathing, know that you are breathing. Opening a door, know that you are opening the door. Drinking water, know every movement. Your hand reaches for the glass. Your fingers touch it. Coolness touches the lips. The throat swallows. Pleasant sensations arise. Simply know. Nothing more. Most people think awareness comes after emotions. That is why anger catches them by surprise. First comes anger. Then, minutes later, they realize, I was angry. Awareness came too late. But as awareness grows, something changes. At first, you recognize anger after it happens. Later, you recognize it while it is happening. Eventually, you recognize the conditions before anger even begins. Awareness starts arriving first. The ego can no longer take control. This is why awakening is not about creating a perfect mind. It is about allowing awareness to illuminate every experience, whether joy comes or sorrow, whether love comes or anger. Everything is welcomed, everything is seen, everything is understood. Nothing needs to disappear, because once reality is fully seen, there is no one left to fight it. And in that seeing, the ego quietly comes to an end.